friends, Krissy here with you. Today we're going to talk about clear finish and ceiling basic. In our previous two videos this month, we talked about sanding basics and staining basic. So if you haven't seen those, go check those out. There is so much information out there that it can be so overwhelming for you, and it leaves you wondering, where do I start? Well, today I am going to talk about the products that I use and the steps that I take to create my finishes. So why do we need to add a protective finish to our projects? Well, you just spent so much time and energy on creating the perfect finish that if you don't protect it, you're going to have to redo it over and over in a short amount of time. So we want to enjoy our pieces without all that hard work. A few of the products that I use are polyurethane, polycrylic, the oils, and the waxes. So we're going to start with polyurethane, which would be these two right here. And they are oil-based, which means that they're a little bit thicker. They are easier to apply, but you also have the chance of leaving brush strokes, and they do take longer to dry, so you just have to weigh your options. Another thing that I use is polycrylic, and it's water-based, and it also is kind of difficult to apply because it's a little more runny, and you create drips that way. This polyurethane is a little bit stronger as far as durability, and it also leaves like an amber color on your piece of furniture. So if you have like a light colored piece of furniture or something painted white that you want to protect, I would definitely use the polycrylic, which is the water-based. It dries to a crystal clear. These, as you see, come in different forms. I have the spray sealers, and then I also have the traditional brush-ons. Also brush on here too with your polyurethane, and this is my favorite go-to. It's a wipe on, and it does go on a little bit thinner than your regular brush on, but you get less drips that way, and you're able to get into all the intricate details of your piece of furniture. Your water-based sealers aren't quite as smelly as your oil-based, so you just have to weigh your options on those. And also you can buy them in different sheens. There's gloss, semi-gloss, satin, and matte. So depending on how you want your end result to look, that's what you need to choose. One of my next favorite go-tos, which you see me use all the time, is the paste furniture wax and the antiquing wax. I usually use these together. I will start off with my paste wax and put a base on, and then I can use my antiquing wax in all the fine detail areas, and I can wipe off as much as I want and leave what I want. These can be very easily applied. They're probably the most user-friendly out of all of this, but they are definitely not as durable, and I would not use this on a tabletop, especially where you're going to have lots of scratches or water, or even like put a hot pot or something on, because it will melt and it's not very protective that way. The waxes can be applied with a brush in circular motions, or also with a rag, which is my favorite method. I feel like I have a lot more control when I use the rag. I do also want to add that you have to reapply your wax about every 6 months or so. So it definitely is a little more high maintenance than your other finishes, but it does add a nice sheen. So again, it's all in what you're looking for. The last product that I use is a mineral oil for my cutting boards. I use them on my wooden spoons and my knife handles. Anything wooden that you're wanting to protect, this works so good, as you can see. I use it a lot, and I find that it actually makes cleanup easier too, because it helps seal in the wood and all of the grime and stuff's not getting down into the pores. Well, that's it, guys. That's how basic of the things that I use. It's so simple, and I have a couple of tips for you as you're using these. My number one tip of all time is to always read the label. Always go by your manufacturer's suggested use and also disposal. And a lot of these, you will need gloves and breathing, and you're going to want to be in well ventilated areas. So definitely check the labels on these before you start your project. The reason why you want to do it in a well-ventilated, clean area is because you don't want dust and bugs in your finish. It's going to mar your finish and you're going to have to start all over again. If you are using the brush-on method, you're definitely going to want to stir your product, because if you shake it, you're going to create bubbles in here, and that's going to put bubbles onto your finish. We don't want that. It's really best, if at all possible, to apply your polyurethane on a flat level surface. That way it self-levels and it's going to get rid of a lot of your brush strokes that you see, and it's also going to create less drips. But I know a lot of furniture pieces obviously have vertical surfaces, so you might want to consider a rub-on or even a spray for those areas. And another tip, always sand in between coats. That way it won't get too sticky on you. And my last tip is to just have fun and enjoy your new piece. Well, that wraps it up. I just want to recap my few favorite things that I use. I use polyurethane, polycrylic, and I also use things in sprays, and my absolute favorite, wipe-on, wax, and mineral oil. Not too difficult, and just be sure to read the manufacturer instructions and you'll be good. You guys go and have a great day, and happy crafting.